ZPL has retextured every DLC track in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. And today I am going to do a little drive-by on each and every one of them and just seeing how good these new tracks look to a non-modder like myself. So, kicking things off in Paris here, and I think this seems to be a little bit of a trend with most of the tour tracks, but pretty much there wasn't too much change with the models, like outside of the grass and the bushes around here. I do think this area you can see it the most because, you know, there's like grass and a bunch of trees around here. You know, we can just like stop and appreciate everything around here, but like all of these bushes, the grass on the side there, and maybe some other textures here that maybe I'm leaving out. Like, but you know what? This does look pretty solid. Toad Circuit is much more noticeable though. Like here, we can just do like a drive-by by this wall right here, and already those are very unique rock textures right there. We don't see that very often, and just like the grass right here, this is much more noticeable. It's much darker, and the same can be said for just like the whole track. It's like, I don't know, the original just had like a very like yellow tint that just made it like much too bright. This one just is much more easy on the eyes, and yeah, this one I would say is definitely a major improvement. So moving on to Choco Mountain here, I do know that the walls and the trees and the stuff over here, like in the background, have like a more different feel to it. I'm sure, and the wood here, you know, I'm sure it would look a lot more different if I had like a side-by-side comparison. But at the same time, I feel like this whole thing just looks at how it should have looked in the first place, you know. And I think with that in mind, this one also had a really good makeover. Coconut Mall once again looks to be very minor changes from before. Like, I actually don't dislike how this track looks on the original DLC. I actually think that these escalators actually do give it a much more colorful feel. So, you know, personally, I do think that the minor changes that were made here were a good call, because I think there really wasn't nothing here that needed to be changed that much. For Tokyo Blur, I think it's a similar story. Like, you can see like some trees down there, and like this tree right here, that's where the main difference is. And moving along here, again, this is like another tour track that already had a lot of color and appeal to it, so I really don't think that a lot needed to be done here. You know, tracks from a recent Mario Kart game that already had a lot of color to them, so, you know, not really anything that could have or needed to be done here either. Now for Shroom Ridge, the grass changing is the most important part, but here it is way more apparent because this grass is everywhere in this track. Especially like right here, when it all just like comes together, you can just really see how great this like texture of grass looks when you just get like the above view there. Like, oh yeah, and look at that background that you can see like right here. Yeah, like this track looks absolutely amazing. Yeah, this one is definitely a really good retexture here. This one has been one of my favorites. Oh, Sky Garden. I'm seeing a lot of changes right now. Wait, were those airships there before? Okay, well that looks a little bit different already. But anyway, the main difference that I'm noticing is that the sky color is a little bit of a darker blue, and the road seems a little bit brighter. Almost feels like the track was trying to stand out more from the background, but at the same time there's like a lot more airships on clouds over here that I hope that those weren't in the original track, and I'm not like going crazy here because I don't remember those, but if those are new, that is a really great addition. Like I love this one as well. All right, the most I've got to say for Ninja Hideaway is just right here at the beginning with the bright red bridge that we're on right here, and these like bright red fences here. Like, these are just way more bright and accentuated when compared to the original. And I think like those windows up there have a little bit of a change to them. Outside of that, though, I think that's pretty much all there is to talk about for this track. You know, not really too much grass or trees to talk about here. I didn't even know you could hit those guys. Wow. Well, we're in New York. Let's head over to the park, because obviously that's where most of the grass is going to be, and that's pretty much where a lot of the changes are. The grass and the trees right here. This track is already like pretty dark. In New York, it's nighttime, you know. But again, I think this is just another like one of those tracks that already just has so much color to it. So I can completely understand if there weren't any major updates to this one also. Okay, but hold on. Mario Circuit 3 is taking things to a whole nother level here. Like look at this sky in the background here. This looks absolutely incredible. Like, and it's a whole like 360 view too. It's like you can see like this background and the skybox anywhere in the track, which is just like amazing. See, and for this one specifically, I love how that if there was a major update, it was on an SNES track like this, because generally, you know, these are just like pretty basic and boring. So a real like background change to spice things up right here is just a really great idea. Like right away, looking like the dirt and the sand here is a little bit lighter than before. You know, like, again, I'm sure if I had a side-by-side comparison, this would look much more different to me. But either way, I'm really liking the color that I'm seeing. Like, I mean, this is like the perfect desert color that you would want here. Waluigi Pinball, what is to dislike about this track? Well, I'm seeing that like the ground here, it looks a lot more like yarn and carpet than before. Like, you know, I think it looks really cool, and I think this color right here is like a more like a dark purple than before. Nope. Okay, got hit by that ball. Let's see. Purple right here. Actually, no, yeah, you know what? I think that color fits like Waluigi much more too. Yeah, like, you know what? I think that there was like the perfect amount done for this track. Back to tour tracks in Sydney Sprint, where I think we're pretty much seeing a good grass change once again. Like already this park looking really colorful, just as it should. Oh yeah, and look at this. Right here is where we can see a lot of the grass changes and a lot of the like visual changes on the road here. Yeah, this whole scene right here is looking mighty fine. All right, Snowland. I think I've seen this one before. So immediate thing that stands out to me is that these trees here, these actually look like real trees and not trees from the Mushroom Kingdom. They're actually changed up quite a bit. And of course, the other thing is that the snow, I believe, actually is changed up as well. The snow basically just acts as white grass here. And it's actually really cool that it just looks so much more like realistic that way. Like it is like really amazing what was like come up for this. Okay, I haven't even started yet, and this one's already my favorite. Like, look at this dark grass combined with these amazing rock walls. This is what an updated DLC course is all about. Like, in the inside of the cave, this just looks so shiny and colorful for a place that's supposed to be, like, really dark. Like, and everything here, like, the road, the grass, the walls, just like, all together just makes, like, the perfect color scheme for this track. Man, like, this one has definitely been my favorite so far. Like, man, I already love Mushroom Gorge, and these colors are just making me love it even more. Sky High Sundae. Now, I gotta say, this is probably the most underrated course, in my opinion. Like, man, who doesn't just like to drive on ice cream as a track? Regardless, I think this shot is the best example of this update because the sky is really the only change here, with it being a much darker blue. But for some reason, just changing up that sky color just makes all the other colors look so much more vibrant and makes everything just fit a lot better. Let's see, maybe if this was the skybox color for the original track, people would respect this one much more. London Loop. Well, what's new? We got a little bit of a different grass here. Let's take a shortcut over that. Yeah, pretty cool there, and yeah, pretty much the same thing. The grass and the trees right there, those got the most attention, where everything else already has a great color scheme to it. Really didn't get that much fixing, but that's to be understood, as Nintendo really did a great job with Wave 3 as to making everything look really good. I feel like the park over here is really the important part for this update, and just like looking at it right now, I think it looks really great. Boo Lake, you know, it's short and dark. What is there to change? I do know that the wood is slightly more dirty than it was before, and I think it looks like much more clear, so you can see the background, especially like from here. The background, like the trees and the grass look much better, which, you know, I do like that it's like not as foggy here. You can like really appreciate all of the work that went into the track. And like I said before, that's basically all there is to talk about here. All right, let's go. I know what I'm looking for. I am looking for this jump with this view. This is really where the whole thing comes together, and look at those rock walls. Okay, you know what? I can understand how this makes the whole thing look much better. But like I've said before, you know, like, controversial opinion, but I actually do really like this track and love the way that the view looks in the original DLC track. But even then, I do still love all of these rock textures, and man, like they look so freaking good on this track. Maple Treeway, same exact thing. This one already looks amazing. Wait, whoa, was that there before? Like, okay, I don't know if I just, like, didn't stop to look at this background before, but like this shot right here with the trees down there and those giant rocks actually looks amazing. Here we go. Let's see these rocks from this perspective as well. Yeah, like, all of this just looks amazing. Like, man, I don't even know which one is my favorite anymore. Berlin Byways, again, same story to the other tour tracks. Basically, a few minor tweaks, nothing really too noticeable here like before. But again, like, driving down this part with a bunch of grass and all these tall trees right here, like this. Oh, okay, like, that is the view that you want to see. Let's do a nice shortcut over the grass here, and that is, again, another update to this track, but in this one, there is a ton of grass around, especially in this section with all of these statues right here. Like this section just looks so great. Yeah, like, the new color of grass here just pops really well with everything here. And I believe the roof color was actually changed up a bit. Before, it was much more purple, but now it looks much more pink to fit the peach theme, which makes sense. Now for the holiday special, Merry Mountain. This one basically has the same points to it that Snowland did, because there's a lot of snow in this track as well, and again, just a bunch of white grass up here. And actually, the background there looks a lot more clear. Not sure exactly like what was like updated here, but I think I see a lot more stars in the sky than I did originally. And yeah, snow on the sides looking really nice here. Again, another track that had just the right amount of fixes to it. Now for our final track of the day, 3DS Rainbow Road, but unfortunately, there's supposed to be a bunch of stuff in the background here and off to the sides, but unfortunately, I just couldn't get this one to work. So I'm just gonna throw up a clip that shows what this track is supposed to have right here, so you can appreciate the work that went into all of the background here. And that's basically all we have to look at here. With that covered, I think that's going to wrap it up here. ZPL, amazing job on all these tracks. Like, these updates just make the DLC tracks look even better than they already did, and does the perfect amount to make all of these tracks just a treat to look at. Like, seriously, great job. Well, with that, thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I will catch you next time. Peace out.